Good afternoon, YouTubers. This is Fran-Sez having lunch. This is my second raw carrot. And I went out to breakfast today. And I did do some food shopping after breakfast, but I went to my favorite breakfast place. It's called the Cool Moose Cafe. And it's about one store over from, it's a little west of King Street and Park Street in Jacksonville. It's about a mile west of the 5 Points. Anyway, so they have great omelets there. And so I had they call it a farmer's market with brie. So it's basically meatless. It has brie as a form of a kind of cheese. So basically it has spinach, tomatoes, onions, brie, and a 3-egg omelet. So, it's, I guess you can't call it vegetarian. I don't know. I guess it depends on your definition, okay? There is some animal protein in there because there's eggs and there's the brie cheese, but it's delicious. And it comes with some home fries, and I had 2 white toasts with a little butter. Delicious. And I mix I put some Texas hot sauce with some ketchup, salt and pepper, and stir that with a fork. So it's not super hot, but it's a little on the spicy side. So I kind of with a fork, I dip my cottage potatoes in that and put a little bit on each omelet. But I mostly eat the omelet just with nothing on it, okay? To get all the full flavor. It's delicious. Oh, there's mushrooms in there too. That's right. So I forgot about that. But it is a delicious omelet. And I think it's like $7.97. So most places you go, it's going to be like $8 for an omelet. And they have all kinds of, you can get it with sausage or chicken. But, I like the farmer's market with brie. The best. It's like vegetarian, so that's why I like it. And so there's a lot of people in there. The place opens at 8 a.m. Actually, that's what it says on the website. And I told them, and I asked them about it, and they says, no, we open at 7 a.m. I says, oh, okay. And I don't think they open on Sundays. I don't remember, but I think they're closed on Sunday. I don't remember. But anyways, I was glad I asked because I kid around with the one of the cooks in there, and I see him once in a while at the Park Place Lounge. He just stops in for one beer, and he drinks Budweiser. And then, he walks up 3 or 4 blocks from where his restaurant is. He gets a beer, just sits around for half an hour shooting the baloney with whoever's in it, and then he, walks down the street. So I don't know if he kind of lives in that area, but, who knows where he's going, So he's a good cook. He didn't cook my omelet this morning, though. So I kidded around with him. I said, the waitress came over and says, "How's your omelet?" And I says, "Well, there was a little too many eggshells in it." And she goes, "Oh my God." And I'm like, no. I says, "I'm just kidding around with Joe." I says, you tell him that, and then after he gets a reaction out of him, tell him, Fran-Sez said that. I'm just kidding around, right? So anyways, the girl goes around and she goes into the back, and then there's a place you get up and serve yourself for the coffee. They got different coffees, So I'm standing there pouring a coffee, and I'm looking back into the kitchen, and Joe's looking at me, And it's like you could see the look on his face, and then the girl was telling him that, so he looks over and he sees me, and he goes. I loved it, So I think next time I see him at the lounge, I'm gonna like buy him a beer. And then the girl comes over and says, "Oh, Joe didn't make your omelet." I went, "Oh no." So, anyways, he was laughing at me. He says, "I'll see you later." So, hey, when you go out to a restaurant, I mean, everybody's so serious. You got to have a little fun. So I told the waitress, look, Joe and I are friends, and I'm joking around with him. Okay. So sometimes, you want to make sure you say it's a joke because there's other customers like right around your table, and they might overhear what you said. So you don't want just say no, no, there wasn't. I says no, there wasn't any eggshells. I'm just kidding around with Joe, and I get it, And so, anyways, so I went. I haven't been there in a couple of months. So I finally got to Grassroots, and they had grass-fed ground beef on sale. There's a local farm, I think, in Georgia. $6.99 a pound for grass-fed ground beef, 90% lean. So I got two of those, and then I got two packages of beef heart, sliced beef heart, but that's frozen, so I threw that in the freezer when I got home. And I also got 2 loaves of my special bread from Canada. It's called 1 degree or degree 1. I don't know. It's got that spelt in it. That's I made a video about that, talking about that like last. I don't know how long ago, but it's delicious. My favorite bread. So it's like $5.69 a loaf, and it's frozen, So and they have different varieties, but I like it better than Ezekiel bread because it's doughier and has a better texture. Health-wise, I don't know. It's probably like pretty close to the same, but it's really good. So I pick up a couple loaves of that. And they didn't have my organic turmeric in the like 1.5 jar. Usually you pay $5 for organic turmeric. So they had these 3 little ones up there, like 0.53 ounce, and they were $2.99 each. So I got 3 of those. So the total would be 1.59 ounces. And I think the big bottle would be 1.53 ounces. At least that's what it said. See, they were totally out. All these spices are lined up, okay? And you could buy all the organic spices you want. But the row that has turmeric, and you can see the tag, it's empty. It's like every time I go in there to get organic turmeric, and there's like none there, except for these little tiny things, It kind of like gets me a little angry because I kind of make a special trip to go over there because they don't have the organic turmeric at the supermarket, So just at this place. So, the word must be getting out about turmeric because, when I go to a natural food market. I mean, it's like it's hard to even they got everything else, but turmeric is like they're out of it all the time. So, anyways, I got some coconut oil. They had some, they got different kinds. They're all organic, extra virgin coconut oil. So I got a container, 20-ounce container, and it was like $10 or $12. And I'll tell you, you can spend a lot of money on organic coconut oil. I saw $25 for a 32-ounce. So I got a 14-ounce, I think, and it was like a little over $10, $10, $11. So I looked at different ones, the different size containers, and I kind of picked. I didn't pick the cheapest one, but I picked one that was more than 16 ounces. So that should last me a month, 20 ounces. I don't use quite an ounce, maybe 2 tablespoons a day. So that should last me. And I got olive oil left, but I got to go get some more olive oil probably next week when I go to the regular supermarket. So anyways, Fran-Sez is not going to starve. And this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, I got 2 packages of grass-fed ground beef. I got 2 packages of 1-pound beef heart, and I got some organic mustard and 2 loaves of my favorite bread. So Fran-Sez is going to be eating a lot of burgers, and I'm going to eat and this ground beef I buy, the date on it is June 2nd or 3rd. So you know what they do? They cryovac it, and it's in the refrigerator section. So it doesn't go bad in a few days like supermarket stuff. The place that packages the meat, they cryovac the ground beef, and it probably is good for 2 weeks in the cryo vacuum plastic container. So I buy that. And it's refrigerated too. I mean, it's in the cooler with all the other meat, but it wasn't frozen. So apparently they can vacuum and cryovac it, and I don't know if they call it cryo, vacuum pack it or something. I don't know. So it just, as long as you keep it refrigerated, it'll keep for today's what, the 23rd? In June 2nd or 3rd, that's like in 10 days, right? 10, 11 days. So, and I'm sure it was packaged, wasn't packaged today, right? It was packaged probably like a week ago. So maybe the stuff keeps, but you know what? It's not going to go till June 1st. I mean, I'll have that ground beef eaten up within a week. So by the 1st of the month, it'll be cooked and gone, but. So, and, I'm still, I had 2 carrots, organic carrots from, it said New Jersey, but it's a certified organic distributor. And I got a 5-pound bag of carrots. Instead of buying them like 1 pound for $1.29, the Bunny Love carrots from California, 5 pounds would be what? It would be $6.20. Well, if it's $1.29 per pound times 5, that's 6 something, right? 6 and change. Well, it was only $5.99 for a 5-pound bag of all these organic carrots. So I got a 5-pound bag of organic carrots. So you know what? I may cook a few of them, but I decided that you get 1 7-inch carrot that's an 1.25 around, whatever. It's got 275% of your daily vitamin A. And it's got, and then, the other things it has, it's minuscule, but I mostly eat carrots for my eyesight and the vitamin A, And vitamin A is also provided through collard greens or turnip greens. I bought a big bag of turnip greens 2 weeks ago, and I really like those better than collard greens. And and they're very nutritious too. So, well, I guess that's about it, And so Fran-Sez is probably, and tomorrow I got to go pick up another prescription at the drugstore, and I may get another 3-liter of Reversitrol. So, I'm thinking like, gee, if I don't go to the pub, I'm not going to be drinking any beer. And if I just buy some wine and keep it in the refrigerator, and then I can just, sip on some wine when I get thirsty. This ain't quite, I have a pretty wine glass in the cupboard, but the ice don't, I like to keep it on ice, keep it cold, but anyway. So I'm going to have, after I finish this and after I record this video, I'm going to put on my bathing suit, and it's like 1:52. It's going to be 2 o'clock in 10 minutes, and I think I'm going to go down to the pool for an hour and maybe chill out. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just go take a shower because, I've had enough sun for one day, so. Anyways, I really can't think of anything else to say. This is sort of like a 15-minute daily update, but Fran-Sez is doing well. My blood sugars are still down. Oh, this morning my blood sugar was, I think it was 135. Yeah. Yeah, so hey, that's not bad, right? That's only 15 above 120. So, in fact, let me check that. See, I got this little thing here that you just take the reading. And yeah, this morning at 7 o'clock was 135. And then after I came home, I had breakfast around 9:30, 10 o'clock. So that was what? Then I took this reading at 110. So about 3 hours after I ate breakfast, plus I came home and I had a carrot and a glass of wine. Then I took my blood sugar. So it was 162 after lunch. Okay, so it bumped up, but so I'll take another reading either this evening or tomorrow morning. I'm keeping track, because when I go back to the endocrinologist, I got to have some numbers to talk to him and say, look, I'm not taking that metformin stuff, okay? Because seriously, I was taking that medication. Plus, he prescribed that, and he didn't really listen to what I said. And I told him I was on that like 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, before, and then they stopped it when they found out I had heart failure about 6 months before I was hospitalized after I had all that fluid gain. So, obviously, the doctor realized that that medication wasn't good for me, okay, for whatever reason. And I ain't going to start taking it again. May as well shoot myself in the head, right? But sometimes your new doctor, and he doesn't look at he doesn't have your medical history yet. He just he doesn't really. He just says, "Oh, I'm going to prescribe this because you got high blood sugar." Yeah, high blood sugar, 155. Come on. I'm not taking any pills for that. Okay, forget it. And I talked to my psychological counselor yesterday about it. I says, "Look, I don't care what this guy says, he didn't explain to me about my LH and FSH being off the chart. And, to me, that was the important part of that meeting. And I said, so I don't think he adequately prepared. He didn't have my medical record to look at things. All he did was went on what I said. But he still prescribed the metformin. Even when I told him that I was on that before, prescription with an endocrinologist with that plus insulin shots, and that was like 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, and I says I've I haven't had taken an insulin shot in 3 years because I changed my diet and I got my blood sugars down in the low 100s, and so I've been doing pretty good. I think over the last 2 or 3 years with my heart echocardiogram going from like 20% heart fraction up to 50. That's a phenomenal increase. That's like 100% increase in the blood circulation amount in 3 years. I'm not going to sacrifice my heart health just to lower my blood sugar a few points. That's insanity. Okay, so sometimes you change doctors, you change cities, and they don't really understand your background or actually have ever seen your medical record. So, you know what I mean? You just can't. So yesterday I went and I got my spiral filled. And I made a video about that yesterday. I was a little ticked. But basically I got my spiral medication filled in that metformin, 180 tabs, like a 6-month supply of metformin. They had like, I don't know, they just didn't have the prescription there waiting for me anymore. I says, look, I told my doctor I can't take that because I have a medical history that that caused some side effects with me and blah, 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 blah. So the pharmacist, he was like, he's very apologetic because I went there, a couple of days after they sent me a thing saying my Spiro no lactone was ready. And, and then when I went there to get it, I says, hey, listen, I don't have a car. I have to take a special bus over here to pick up my prescription. And I says, and I come here and, like it isn't here. I says, what the hell? I mean, I'm a disabled senior citizen on disability and I don't have a car. And I come over here and my prescription isn't like in the bin. I says, so he's very apologetic. And he says, and I never saw this guy before. I think he's like assistant pharmacist, a pharmacist there. I don't know what the hell he was. But he might be new to that store. And he was very apologetic to me and says, oh, I'm really sorry this happened. Blah, blah, blah. So anyways, I accepted his apology. And actually, tomorrow after 10 a.m., I'm going back there to get another medicine that I take for my heart failure refilled. So, I guess I'm going to continue doing business with Walgreens and anyway. So that's the best I can do for today. 21 minutes. I don't know why these videos take so long, and I'm probably boring you to death. So I got to go, all right? Pool is waiting for Fran-Sez.